For this review, we have the Transformers movie masterpiece, Decepticon Brawl. So this is MPM-15, and this is the last character to complete the original 2007 Transformers movie team. So packaging, we get the movie masterpiece logo at the top. Nothing too special here. Nice photography. On the side, we get a picture of vehicle mode. And then on this side, we get two different face-on shots. One of the robot, one of the tank. On the top, we get another tank picture, this time with blast effects. On the bottom, UPC, for anybody who wants that. And on the back, we got a lot of stuff going on. So his mouth moves, so that's cool. He has rocket launchers. He's got this claw that can be attached to him. I'm not sure what they're trying to explain here. I think this is another weapon that goes on the other side. And he has tons and tons and tons of blast effects. So very cool. And there's a logo here. Manufactured under license with General Dynamics Land System. Holy crap. So this is like a licensed military vehicle. Okay, sure. That's kind of cool. So that's the outside of the box. Let's open up the box. You will get a large, wide booklet poster, fold out with the instructions, the little legal pamphlet they put in all the Hasbro stuff. And the figure is going to be boxed like this. On the other side, you're only going to see strings. Oh, this thing is falling apart on me. So try to do this on camera. It kind of opens like a little lunchbox almost. So these sides come out. These are just in there. They're held down by tape, but I don't know they're not. This tape is just loose. So these inserts come out. And be able to get this thing out without having to cut the rope. Yep. This little antenna folds down, so that allows us to scooch this guy out without cutting the ropes on him. So there's that. And both of these have things in them, so we're going to try to fish out. Okay. They're taped to the inside of the packaging, so let me work that out real quick. For anybody aware or wants to know, this is like a little C clamp, and it's held down by tape on both sides. If you have plans to try to keep the packaging pristine, it's probably going to be difficult. You're going to have to destroy something to get into this box. Yeah, and the little pouches are like taped down onto the cardboard. So just so you know, if you care, probably did that to keep these things from sliding around a lot. The other side, the pieces are just sliding on out. So the only thing that's taped down is this. Everything else is loose. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, and for those who do not know and are curious, this is a Target release in the US. Um, these were sold online for a short period of time. There was kind of like a release date, and you could pick these up in stores, and they're kind of hard to find now. I don't know if there's going to be more product being brought out, but just FYI on that. But you could probably still purchase this like online. This is not solely limited to Target. Just in the US, it's a Target exclusive. All right, so that is the packaging. There's a lot wrapped up here. Basically, this is the loadout for the accessories, his claw, his gun for his other arm, his missile launcher, and his damaged arm that you can swap out, and then the little front grill for the tank mode, and then all of the blast effects. It did kind of seem like one of the blast effects should have been really large. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, this is all correct. So there you go with that. I'm gonna get this guy out of all the wrapping and we'll start going over vehicle mode. Okay, so before we get too in depth on the vehicle, we'll just kind of go over what he comes with a little bit more. So these things are going to be um, more useful in. Okay, so before we go into more detail on the vehicle mode, I'm just going to talk about the accessories real quick. So these two guys, although you could probably attach them to the tank, they are meant for robot mode for both sides of his arms. This piece, you remove one of the arms and place this in its place. So this is when his arm gets ripped off at the end of the movie. Um, these pieces are relevant to the tank, so we'll talk about that last. And then you get a ton of little blast effects. Um, some of these are pretty specific. Like I know this one is for his chest when he's getting shot at toward the end and kind of gets killed. Um, and I think a good bit of these will work in vehicle mode. So let's go over these pieces. So you got these kind of front grill guards, and they just fit on with a little ball joint. Once you get these on, they are part of the figure. I mean, they'll come off, but what I'm saying is they exist in both robot mode and vehicle mode, so you don't ever have to remove them again. So they will just kind of tab onto those ball joints, and you know kind of get them positioned so that they're pointed up and slightly down, and that's it. And then his missile launcher, these guys are pretty straightforward. There are holes on the back of the upper turret, and you just peg them in. This guy's trying to transform on us, and that's pretty much it. So, got a lot of blast effects. I'm trying to figure out what we might want to try first. So you'll notice these um, more well, this particular one, this one's a little bit more bulbous, and you'll see that there's 4 holes in the back. So this is for the rocket launcher. Uh, And there's also a hole. So what you're really going to do is you're going to take this guy who's kind of like you know, angled, and it has like a little missile at the front of it. You can, I believe, peg this in. Yep. Oh, nope. Let's see. These might be very piece specific. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy goes here because it's molded to fit in there, but the hole that it plugs into isn't very doesn't have much depth, so it just keeps wanting to fall off. Let's get our guy. There we go. Okay, so there's one blast effect. This one is definitely for his chest. This one's got a lot of other pieces going on to it, so kind of makes me believe these are gonna operate with it. And you have these larger pieces, and they can go up here. The smaller ones, I mean, you can kind of do this however you want, but you could put the smaller ones there. Mm, yeah, I gotta figure out what to do with this because it seems like there are multiple parts to that. So, uh, this piece up here actually has another hole, and so that other missile will go there. And then this last piece uh, actually kind of combines. So there's some tabs on here, some tabs on here, and just do that. And it kind of forms this bigger bubble. And then this is the part that I actually stick on the chest. But you can kind of, you can have this next to him like, somebody's firing down on him and whatnot. So some different ways to play with that. And then technically these do work in vehicle mode. So I think, yeah, since this guy's pointed out in this direction, I think we want to put him here. It's basically these little tabs, kind of like how Starscream's weapons tab to his arms. These tabs are bigger. I don't know if these parts are edible, probably not, but it's tab into slots there. And I don't think this is ever seen in a movie like this, but you could do it. Um, and it's definitely, clever part storage. We got a blast effect left, so we can stick that there. And I don't know if they've got any kind of storage for this piece, probably. Um, so there's a lot of space underneath, but it looks pretty nice. Like it doesn't register as, robot. It could just be, junk underneath a tank. So that's kind of cool. Um, I'm gonna take this stuff off for a moment. The turret is functional. As you turn it, yes, you're gonna reveal a gap, but it's a transformer. It's not you know godlike reality, so there's gonna be limitations to you know how realistic this can look. The upper turret does not pivot, but the guns do go up and down. Obviously, the missiles can rotate. As you move them, you may uh, dislodge this. Um, it's not supposed to be, and it does snap in, but with enough force, you're gonna pull it loose. There is a manhole cover, and it's not functional. There are panel lines here, so you can tell like this thing folds up. There is a antenna back here, and part of transformation is gonna move, but technically that is a um, movement point on the tank. The main turret, main uh, barrel does go up a little bit. Maybe this does turn because this is crooked. Let's see. Yeah, I was wrong. So this upper turret does move, but you can get this guy up this high and this down that far, which is kind of typical for a tank. Um, on the back, we've got some simulated fuel drums and some tail lights. This is just a ton of detail. Let's try to zoom in so this gets on camera a little bit better. Everything has just got loads of detail on it. Um, the tank treads look really nice. The tank wheels look really nice. There is a port hole here, also non-functional, but there is one there. The bottom of the treads do look nice. I'm trying to figure out if there's two different colors. It kind of registers as two different colors, but I think it's texture. I think that's all that's happening here. I mean, there could be some kind of wash, but um, at any rate, it looks nice. And then technically, you can see his head right here, which I think is kind of cool. Um, yeah, and if you peek up underneath, there's his head. So pretty nice tank mode. Yeah, and the fact that this is a licensed vehicle is kind of crazy. I don't think we've ever had a licensed tank in Transformers before. So that is vehicle mode. Let's get him into robot mode and check that out. Okay, so here he is in robot mode. It took quite some time to get him transformed. He has a lot of panely folding type stuff, similar to Bone Crusher. So I kind of feel like whoever worked on Bone Crusher probably worked on him. It's pretty ingenious, but it's a lot of steps. It's a lot of steps. Another thing that's interesting, his shoulders, as you're kind of getting the shoulder together, it's not quite apparent that it's gonna you need to have it kind of flat, facing down instead of facing forward. You'll discover because of how the articulation works. But I was trying to make it work like this, and that's not how you're supposed to do it. It's supposed to be like this. So just a little word of advice there, as you're transforming it. So he does have the mouth opening gimmick, which is kind of cool. He does have the ability to plug on this blast effect. So you'll notice the way this is paneled kind of matches this chest piece here. And so you would just kind of stick it, well,
I got that wrong. It goes here because there's a little tab there.
And it might take some work.
That's pretty much it. Um, it's not the most secure thing, but you know, you would pose them and put it there, do some photography, display it, whatever. Actually, it goes on pretty good. So there's that. So his extra weapons. This guy is gonna go on this arm, and let's see. Yep, just kind of plugs in like that. And then on this side, we're gonna plug in like that. And then there's his two weapons. He can still use the blast effects as needed. Um, these guys are on a hinge that rotates down, and then the peg allows you to rotate this way. So you get a good range of motion for the missile pods. The guns on the back really aren't going to do too much. You're not going to get these to come out and pull forward or anything like that. Um, the last thing is the arm. And let's see, I think it's this arm that comes out. Takes a good bit of force, but you just pull it out. There's kind of a mushroom peg, and you can snap that in. And he's got a missing, torn off arm. Somebody tore his arm off. Bam. There you go. Very cool feature. Um, One thing about the movie toys, whenever there's been like an opportunity for like battle damage, they have come with battle damage, even poor Jazz. So that's cool. They didn't have to do that.
Taking this off for the first time was a little scary though. It took a lot of force. I was also pulling from the top, and you're pulling really need to be pulling from the bottom is where it connects at. I think yeah, I should go forward this way.
I heard that big snap. It's got a very snappy peg on it. So what else? He's got a lot of posability. Um, the fingers, the two main fingers have one joint. The thumb only is hinged at the base. The hand does rotate, so you can get complete motion there. His arm hangs from me trying to pull that forearm off. Go back in pretty easy. Um, One thing that's a little disorienting is you look at the legs and you see this circle right here, and it kind of makes you think this goes this way. You need to spin it, but no, this is the front. You can kind of tell just based on the look, like you've got a lot of interesting sculpture here. And then on this side is all the flaps that you're hiding. So just remember, this is always the front. This kind of diamond looking pattern here is the front. The shoulders are on ratchets. I mean, he's got a wide range of motion. As you're messing with him, there's a good chance these panels are going to come loose. It's just the nature of the beast. The hips are heavily ratcheted. The knee is ratcheted. You can get like 90. There is a good, well, sorry, there's a little bit of pivot in the ankle, and there isn't really any up or down. Yeah, there's no up and down. So that's one thing that's kind of missing. He is, you know, a very bulky figure, so I would not imagine hey, I need to put him in a ninja pose. No, he's lumbering, stalky kind of figure. Um, this guy keeps because I'm not really tapping it in. I don't think. There we go. Okay, so that's tapping in. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of detail, lots of paint. Even on the little front grill, there's some paint on the fork parts. This guy's got painted little wires. Um, just about every place where you could have some differentiation in color, they're going to do that. Like the feet are one color gray, the little toe sticking out is a different color gray. This front part is painted a different color. There is some battle damage on the chest, like some scraping. That looks kind of nice. And on the shoulders is like pop marks from, being shot at. Um, I'll turn around to the back and see how he cleans up. Again, he's going to be a little panely, but the parts have to go somewhere. Um, and the way they design the feet, he is very sturdy. Like he's not going to topple over, unless you got him off balance. So uh, goes forward like that, and that stands straight up. So he looks pretty clean from all angles. Just absolutely a very sturdy transformer. Okay, so let's put some other robots in here with him. So you can get some sense of size and displayability. As you see, Bone Crusher is still the largest. He is just massive. Um, yeah, as far as like mass, he's the tallest. He's the biggest out of everything. And this is the wrong ratchet, but just gonna show him off here. I'm trying to get him so you can see the size comparison. So still taller than the mid-size Autobots. And then Jazz, here it's gonna kind of, I think the scale isn't quite perfect, which they cheated a lot of mass shifting with the designs, but he still gets close because I think he's the one. I'm trying to remember, but like I think Jazz is the one who kicked the missile off of him. So it's a very lazy pose, but you get the idea. Like you can, have him up there, and I think he's small enough to play off the look here. So this could be one way of posing him. I can't quite remember who took his arm off. I think it was Ratchet. I think Ratchet used his little handsaw to chop his arm off. I have to go back and watch the movie. Um, if anybody knows offhand, you can post in the comments. But I'm trying to remember like who takes this off. So yeah, pretty amazing. I thought about trying to show all the figures together. Um, it'd just be too much. It would be so much space that need to be taken that there's no person's gonna have practical space. Even if you do this routinely, you need a very, very large space to display all the 2007 masterpiece. But the thing is, you can. We have all the figures now. Technically, we don't have a frenzy. They should have given us a little, like a little static figure, kind of like they gave us with Sam for frenzy. There was a DNA design upgrade for Ironhide that came with a frenzy. So we got that, but he's too big. The frenzy that came with like the was it 2008 2009 packs, they had those little static figures, they had the nest soldiers with some of the robots. That frenzy would probably fit in um as far as scale. So technically no frenzy, but we got everybody else, and it's pretty amazing. I guess the next question now is, are we going to get more Bayverse movie figures? I mean, for that matter, are we going to get any other movie figures? Like, we didn't get anything for um, Rise of the Beasts. We've only gotten 2 figures for Bumblebee, and there's lots of characters that could be utilized. Um, I should kind of go back to the drawing board on Bumblebee. Who knows if they'll ever do it? But you know, it'd be nice if we could get like a third party kit to fix um Bumblebee, because really the thing that's kind of the most glaring about him is the door wings. But focusing back on Brawl, this is a really nice release. This completes the collection for the most part, and it's nice to finally have him. So that's a review. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, tune into more videos coming up. Thank you.